We pulling? What's up, it's Jim Pro, and this is our official guide for Reshok. Big thank you to our supporters on Patreon. Your support means the world to us, and it's what makes these videos possible. This boss is a Bloodlust on pull, single target fight with a massive damage and healing check. His main mechanic revolves around his energy. If he ever gets to full energy, you straight up wipe. So you need to drag the boss to the center circle to drain his energy, but doing this is tough on the healers, and you can only do it a few times before it doesn't work anymore. Ultimately, the mechanics of this fight are pretty simple, but you better be able to pump the damage and healing, or else you're just not going to kill him in time before he gets the full energy and enrages. Start off by pulling the boss toward a corner of the room and have the raid stay grouped up. Whenever a random player gets this mark and circle around them, they need to quickly move to the edge of the room near the boss, because the boss will then jump on them and drop a big lava vortex thing where that player is. You need to drop these towards the edge of the room because they occasionally send out these little lava waves in all directions, and keeping the middle of the room clear makes things way easier later on. Just don't ever drop a new vortex on an existing one or you're dead. Also, the raid takes damage whenever a new vortex is spawned, and this damage goes up a lot every time, so definitely watch your health on the later ones. After each vortex spawn, make sure to move the boss a little bit away from the vortex and face him toward the raid. You want him facing toward the raid because most of the time the next mechanic after the vortex slam thing is this big circle on the ground that he places directly in front of him that everyone in the raid needs to help soak. It does a bunch of split damage, but more importantly, the boss effectively gains energy for every player missing from the soak, and if he gains too much extra energy, it can throw the entire flow of the fight off. The boss usually follows this soak cast up with a tank combo. He does 3 casts on the current tank, and any of these casts can either be Flaming Slash or Earthing Crush. Flaming Slash does a ton of fire damage and increases damage taken by itself, and Earthing Crush does a ton of physical damage and increases damage taken by itself. Basically, this means that the off tank needs to taunt if the current tank is about to get hit by the same ability for a second time. So if he starts with 2 of the same in a row, taunt during the second cast. If he starts with 2 different casts, taunt during the third cast. Also, both tanks should use big defensive cooldowns for this combo. Every once in a while, the boss spawns a bunch of these little circles around him. These circles need to be soaked or else they blow up on the raid. Ideally, you only have 1 player in each circle because soaking one applies a short dot, but too many people soaking is way better than missing a soak, so everyone should look to help. And when the boss gets really high on energy, he casts a super wide cone in a random direction, which of course needs to be dodged. Right after this big frontal, the boss is about to hit full energy and wipe the raid, so the tank needs to immediately drag the boss into the circle that's in the middle of the room, which will stun the boss and start draining his energy. While he's being drained, a bunch of random swirly spawn and the raid takes a lot of pulsing damage, so try to group up to make healing easier and keep dodging swirlies. On heroic, the pulsing damage increases over time, so you might want to use a few healing cooldowns towards the end of the drain. Once the boss is back to 0 energy, he starts his regular mechanics again, so bring him toward a new corner of the room away from the old lava vortexes and rinse and repeat. And finally, you can only drain the boss 3 times before the circle in the middle of the room stops working. So you have to kill the boss before he hits full energy the 4th go around. And that's pretty much it. Here's a quick recap of the fight for you to review or screenshot for later. Our Patreon supporters get these guides early, so if you're interested in that, check out the links below. Peace.